Welcome back to a new post today. Let's discuss the most important topics that made news for polity and governance for week 2. That's from January 19th to January 25th. And we had many issues happening along with the National Voters' Day being celebrated as well. So apart from that, we had Om Birla inaugurating the presiding officers conference. Now, presiding officers of the Legislative Assembly and the Lok Sabha, along with the Rajya Sabha and the Legislative Council, play a very important role in regulating the decorum and the conduction of business in the House. So they also play an important role to represent the rights of the members and interpret the constitution and the rules of the Lok Sabha, along with the rights and privileges of the members of the the houses of the state legislature as well as the parliament as well. And the 85th All India Presiding Officers Conference was held in Patna, and this two-day conference will bring together key figures from the legislative bodies across India, both state legislative, bicameral, unicameral legislatures as well, and they will focus on the 75th anniversary of the Constitution, contributing to Parliament and the state legislative bodies and strengthening the constitutional values. Now, this conference was held in Bihar for the third time, and the conference will serve as a platform for brainstorming and discussing the role of the Parliament and the state legislative bodies in strengthening the values enshrined in the Constitution. During this conference, the Speaker released the 8th edition of the Practice and Procedures of the Parliament, a key reference book on parliamentary practices. He also inaugurated the Neva Seva Kendra in Bihar Legislature premises aimed at improving services of the legislative body, and it was preceded by the 61st Conference of Secretaries of Legislative Bodies in India. Let me tell you, for Lok Sabha, we have a Lok Sabha Secretariat who is headed by a Secretary General, and the Rajya Sabha as well, similarly in the state legislative bodies as well. So this gathering will now focus on modern technologies of legislative bodies for greater efficiency, effectiveness and productivity. And let me tell you that the articles mentioned in the Constitution about the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker, Article 95, 94 and 95. Apart from that, we have Article 92, 93 as well, dealing with the Speaker of the House. We have the Deputy Speaker mentioned also in the Constitution. Along with that, we have a panel of Vice Chairmen for the Lok Sabha, and the panel of chairpersons for the Lok Sabha and panel of Vice Chairmen for the Rajya Sabha, similarly in the state legislative bodies, but these are not mentioned in the Constitution. And the office of the Speaker, as we follow parliamentary system of government, was adopted from Britain. And let me tell you that usually in Britain, the Speaker resigns from the political party of which he belongs to before presiding over the House of Commons, but this practice is not followed in India. And the next is about the Foundation Day for Election Commission in India. Now, this is the 15th National Voters' Day being celebrated in New Delhi, and the Election Commission of India was established as a single-member body in 1950. As per the Election Commission Amendment Act of 1989, it was made a multi-member body. However, it reverted back to its single membership in 1993, and it is headed by a Chief Election Commissioner consisting of 2 other election commissioners, which are appointed by the President. Recently, there have been changes with regard to a selection committee recommending the names for appointment to the President, which consists of the Prime Minister, the Leader of the Opposition. Apart from that, the Minister nominated by the Prime Minister to look into the selection of the members. Apart from that, it was since 2011 that National Voters' Day has been observed annually, and January 25th commemorates the foundation of the Election Commission of India. Election Commission of India has played a very important role in conducting free and fair elections all throughout the country, and recently it is also being discussed that from now onwards there will be increasing use of technology, especially, and technology will definitely influence the role of elections in India. Apart from that, the Election Commission is headquartered at Nirvachan Sadan in New Delhi, and the states and union territories have the State Election Commission, which is presided by a Chief Electoral Officer of the state or the union territory, which leads the election missionary at the state, that it conducts election to the local bodies. At the district and the constitution level, the election-related work is carried on by the district magistrate, who is the returning officer and electoral registration officer as well. We recently had the convict of the Bengal hospital of victim getting a life imprisonment, and there were demands for a death penalty for the RJ RG Car hospital convict. Capital punishment in India, let me tell you, is the highest penalty for crimes under the country's penal legislation. The recently made Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, formerly the Indian Penal Code, as well includes capital punishment. Executions are carried out by hanging as primary method of execution under section 354 of the Criminal Procedure Code, by hanging, that is hanging by neck until death, and it is imposed in the rarest of the rare cases. Currently there are about 539 prisoners in the death row in the country, and the most recent executions took place in March 2020 in the Delhi assault case. Apart from, they were executed in Tihar jail in Delhi. And Article 72 of the Constitution gives the President the power to grant pardons for death sentence. However, the governor cannot pardon a death sentence under Article 161. The governor has the power to pardon, only suspend, remit and commute a death sentence, but not pardon a death sentence. Apart from that, we have TRAI now dealing with spam. So TRAI, the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, combats spam primarily with its Do Not Disturb registry, or DND registry, which users can register to block commercial communication, and also mandate that telecom communications use blockchain technology to maintain a verified list of approved SMS senders, ensuring message traceability and making it even harder for the unauthorized entities to send spam messages. This includes strict regulations and message formats, and also sender IDs, allowing for better monitoring and action against the violators. Key aspects of TRAI's anti-spam strategy includes using using a register of the numbers of the users on the DND list to block unwanted commercial calls and messages, blockchain-based verification. Telecom communities are using companies are using blockchain technology to manage the record of SMS senders and also message formats, making it very difficult to send a spam message without proper authorization. There is now strict enforcement. It actually monitors the spam violators and takes action against the violators, including warnings, usage caps and blacklisting of members. Traceability. New regulations require telecom companies to maintain a complete record of the source of the message before it is being sent, and enhance accountability. And reporting mechanisms are users can easily report spam messages through their telecom provider apps or through TRAI directly. And also a few points which I missed out to tell you about the death penalty is that the death penalty can be awarded under various sections of BNS. Under section 103, it states whoever commits a murder shall be punished for death penalty or life imprisonment. Under section 71, it deals with punishment for repeated offenders of sexual crimes. It also, under 147, section 147, found guilty of waging a war under the government of India. So waging a war under the government of India is also liable for death penalty, and also called capital punishment. The death penalty has been a subject of convention and strong opinions from both abolitionists and also supporters. So according to the report Death Penalty in India Statistics by Project 39A of the National Law University, 120 death sentences were awarded in the courts in 2023, and 561 inmates remain in execution row. Also, the year saw an increase of 45% in the death row population since 2015. Apart from that, we have death row highest number of convicts in death row coming from Uttar Pradesh, Jharkhand, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh and West Bengal, and the Uttar Pradesh has the highest number of convicts from 119. So this is about recently the Supreme Court has also given given direction to the centre to decide by March 18th the mercy petition of Rajauna, who is on a death penalty. Apart from that, we have the UGC recommendations now being opposed by especially Stalin, the Chief Minister. The UGC recommendations provide the manner of appointment of the Vice Chancellor of the university. Let's go to the next issue, that is about the Joint Parliamentary Committee now being established to review the Waqf Amendment Bill 2024. A joint parliament consists of both the members of the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, and it consists of 21 members. The formation of the committee was announced by Union Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju, and it will include prominent members like the AIMIM leader Owaisi, along with that Congress MB Imran Masood, who belong to the minority community. And apart from that, we have members from various other political parties as well. So the committee will be discussing the modalities and the provisions of the Waqf Act, and they will be submitting a report maybe during the budget session of the Parliament. And this development of the JPC follows introduction of a Waqf bill by Kiran Rijiju. The bill's referral to the Joint Parliamentary Committee comes after strong opposition by the political parties, especially opposition, about the bill and arguing that it undermines the federalism and constitutional principles. Some members have called the bill's withdrawal as well, and some have suggested to send it to Standing Committee for further examination. Supreme Court now has asked the government to decide on Rajauna's plea of mercy as it is leading to inordinate delay deciding the mercy petition. Let me tell you, Article 72 and 161, though they give the power to the President and the Governor to decide on mercy petition, but definitely they do not give the timing within which they need to decide it. And therefore, over the years, Rajauna has been constantly petitioning for his mercy petition for commutation of his death sentence. And he is a member of the Babar Khalsa and is sentenced in a case related to the assassination of the Punjab's Chief Minister Bean Singh. The budget session is going to begin in the Parliament, and we have 3 sessions of the Parliament. So Article 85 of the Constitution deals with the sessions of the Parliament. It says that there should be a gap of not more than 6 months between the last conducted session and the next session sitting of the Parliament. And we have 3 sessions of the Parliament, that is the budget session, the winter session, monsoon session, and the winter session. The winter session being the shortest, the budget session being the longest. The budget session usually sees the introduction of the budget and also passage of the appropriation bill and the finance bill, and the budget session is conducted in two sittings. So I mean to say 2 meetings with a gap of few days for the recess for bills to be considered by the departmental related standing committees. Apart from that, the budget session also sees the introduction of certain bills, but they are then considered during the monsoon session, where ample time is given for consideration of those bills. Winter session is basically used to debate and discuss the burning issues of the nation before the Parliament. And these sessions are also followed in the state legislature and also the legislatures where we have the union territories having their own legislative bodies. So these are and the session consists of a number of sittings. The session is usually summoned and prorogued by the President. It is adjourned by the presiding officer of the House. And when the session is adjourned sine die, it means the session has come to end without a next date for meeting. And in few days to come, this President then prorogues the session, and the Governor prorogues the session of either the Parliament or the state legislature. So these are the most important topics I thought that I should be tracking for you for polity and governance this week gone by with regard to from January 19th to 25th. And if you did, please do like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to comment at the end of the video. I shall see you in my new post very soon, and until then, it's very happy learning.